Hello and welcome to another tech articles. This is my second video on SureForms. And in my previous video, I introduced a snippet that allows you to send your SureForm data to a webhook or a custom action within FlowMattic. And I just wanted to show just how useful that is because A, SureForms Pro hasn't been released yet, and B, webhook integration is going to be a pro feature, I imagine, unless you're using shore triggers. So this allows you to use FlowMattic or Pabbly or Zapier to connect your SureForms up for no cost. So I've got the very latest, which was only updated a few minutes ago, SureForms here. So the snippets, as of today, work today, as of today's release date. This will be released tonight on the 16th of October, 2024. And as of now, these snippets work. I can't guarantee they'll work forever. I can't guarantee I'm going to maintain them, but I've tried to make them as easy to update for yourself as possible. As I said in my previous video, I put them through ChatGPT to comment them all out for me, and also to put in some debugging so that if it does go wrong in the future, you should be able to work out why. So yeah, SureForms. We're using the SureForms, the free SureForms beta. On my installation, I have nothing but SureForms, FluentCRM, which is going to be our end use of the data, and FlowMattic, which is going to be our automation middleman in this example. And in this example, I'm going to use a webhook. Actually, if I was using FlowMattic on this site in this circumstance, I'd actually use the custom action rather than the webhook, but I want you to see the webhook in action so that it's more applicable across the automation tools that aren't shore triggers. So the first thing I'm going to do is build a quick form in SureForm. And as you saw earlier in the plugins, we're not using the pro version of SureForms here, even though it is available as a beta. I haven't done that. So I'm going to build a form first. I'm going to create a new form. I'm on a local installation here, and the build with AI doesn't work very well, so I'm going to build it from scratch, which is pretty easy to do. I'm going to add a heading in here of our newsletter, and I'm going to style that out with some gradient because I like it. I'm going to add a text box here of your name, and we're going to put this into FluentCRM. You can add all sorts of options in FluentCRM. All you really need is an email address. In this case, all we're going to have is a name and an email address. I'm putting one name rather than a first and last name because I'm going to use the FlowMattic tools to split it. You might want to do that differently. And as you can see, webhooks is a pro feature. We're not going to do that, and we're not going to install shore triggers either. I'm going to publish this form. I'm going to take a note of this number, which is number 39, because we're going to need that later. And I'm going to turn this into an instant form. So I'm going to enable the instant form. I don't want a background color. So let's clear that, save that, let's view that. That's pretty good. Now, as I said, removing of this, I believe, is a pro feature. I do actually have a snippet for that, and I will enable it when I go and enable the snippets. I will do it. And as I said earlier, the form number in this case is 39. We will need that. So next, I'm going to go to FlowMattic in the builder, and I'm going to create a new. Actually, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to install the FluentCRM integration, and the reason to do that is because I'll forget to do it later and look like an idiot. So let's just go up to here and push FluentCRM, install it. Done. We now have that as an integration. The rest of what we're doing is custom or within the snippet. So I'm going to go to workflows. I'm going to add a new workflow. I'm going to select, as I said, in this case, webhook, because I want it to be universal. But personally, I would use custom action because the snippet does both. If you want more information on the snippet beyond what's in this video, my previous video explains that in more detail. So I'm going to webhook, and all I need now is this webhook data. So I'm going to save that workflow, and I'm going to put that as a live workflow. And then I'm going to go down and activate Fluent snippets. I'm going to debrand my instant form, and I'm going to modify form submission. what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll up, find my webhook point, and I'm going to change that to the webhook I just copied. And then it was form 39, which I'm going to change here with my actual form. I'm going to update it. I'm going to make sure it says webhook here, not action. And I'm going to update that snippet, and it's done. And then I'm going to activate that snippet. I'm going to go back to the dashboard of Fluent snippet and make sure that that did activate. And I will check that that kept everything we put in, because otherwise it won't. Yet 39, that's our hook, I think. Oh, that's our hook, just check. VCIE. VCIE, yes. So that's it. We should now be good to go on snippets. We are. Both are now activated. Now, the debrand my instant form, if we go back to our form and look at it again, you'll see I've just removed the powered by SureForm here. I've got no issue with it being there. I just think it looks prettier in this instance and doesn't detract from our pretty little form. Again, I imagine removing it is a pro feature. Now I'm going to go back to our FlowMattic webhook, and with what I've done, I'm going to check that our webhook is now being processed. So I'm going to push capture webhook data, and I'm going to fill in our new awesome form with some test user information, test@test.com. I'm going to submit that form, and you can see I get confirmation that that worked, and we can see actually that's successful and that data has been captured. As I said earlier, I'm only putting a full name item rather than a first and a last name, because I'm going to want those for FluentCRM, but I'm going to use the text tools for that. So I'm going to select down here, text formatter. I'm going to split text. I'm going to select from our webhook. I'm going to select this one here, which is your name. And the separator is going to be space. You can see down here, that's how you enter space. So like that, that's done. We want all, not just the first or the last. I'm going to save and test action, and that should split test and user, which it has done. And I'm now going to save this workflow and go over to FluentCRM. So FluentCRM is open. I'm going to create a new list, which we are going to call newsletter. I'm going to create that. And we now have newsletter available to us with nothing in it. So I'm going to go back to our workflow. I'm going to refresh the page so it can pull that details in when I add the FluentCRM integration that we installed. FluentCRM, I'm going to create or update a contact. I'm going to select from the webhook the email address. The first name is going to come from our text formatter, so as is the last name. So that's all of our data to be entered. As I said, you could build your format to contain all of this stuff. It isn't necessary for this example. I'm going to select a list of newsletter selected. I'm going to save and test that action, and that is telling me that it's adding an ID of 7 with those details. I'm going to save this workflow. I'm going to go over to our FluentCRM. I'm going to refresh the page, and you can see it's added our test user that we added to build our workflow. I'm now going to go back over to our form, refresh it. I'm going to fill it in again with test user 2, 3, that'll do. And let's do 3@3.com. And then I'm going to go over here and refresh. So let's submit this. That's telling me it's done. I'm going to refresh our local instance. And with a bit of luck, we should have a new user called 3@3.com and test user 3. And that's it. We have a subscribed user via SureForms and a pretty looking instant form that's unbranded in this case. I will put a link to the snippet in the comments below that intercepts the SureForm submission and allows you to send it to the webhook or the custom action. As I said, what I would actually do in my case for my workflow, if I was going to use FlowMattic, I would actually change that and do a custom action, because it keeps it all in FlowMattic then. But in this case, I wanted to do Webhook because I wanted to show you that actually this doesn't have to be within the WordPress ecosystem. You could take that data out, and it works both ways. FlowMattic is my weapon of choice. Yours might be Pabbly or Zapier or Make or any of the others. As long as they can take webhook data, they can do whatever you need to do. And again, it doesn't have to be FluentCRM in my example. I've picked FluentCRM because it's a good, quick, easy example. In yours, it could be anything you like. I hope you find this video useful. If you do, please like it, please subscribe, please get notifications of new videos. My videos are all going to be about WordPress, automation, technology, stuff that interests me really. Anything that I learn or I pick up, or answering questions that I find in forums, that is my video content. If you have an idea for a video, if you want something that you would like to see out there, leave a comment. Leave a comment in one of my posts on the Facebook groups, or send me a message. But yeah, ultimately this video shows you how to connect SureForms to FluentCRM using FlowMattic and a bit of custom PHP. Thank you for watching.